Today, we urge you to look inside the eyes of strangers. Faces, shapes, outlines, voices, drifting in and out of your existence. Like seeds in the breeze, atoms astray, inconsequential, silent. Today, we urge you to look in the eyes of strangers and ask only this: what is your story? The man with the soft eyes you saw pushing his bicycle across the road, his might be the patient hands that planted an entire forest over 4 decades. The woman at the beach who accidentally appeared in your sunset photograph, she might be the reason why hundreds of fishermen don't have to leave their homes to make room for some shipping port. The young girl you overheard bargaining with the rickshaw driver, she might have single-handedly taken on the corporate giant polluting her land and won. What about the gentleman with the rolled-up sleeves and a sling bag who has traveled a long distance to be sitting right beside you? He might have saved an entire species of bird from being lost forever to extinction. Not courage, not conviction, not resolve, not strength, not power have a type of Homo sapien that they choose to inhabit. Among us, in plain sight, are faces that hold untold tales. Untold not because they are kept secret, but because we care too little to ask, what is your story? Because the greatest stories have a way of disguising themselves in the ordinary. Often they are just a face in the crowd. Today is about people you didn't know had a story to tell. Today is about holding dear, rejoicing, and celebrating the heroic unseen. The faces in the crowd. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Welcome in person after 2 years, live to the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Awards 2022. I am Ira Dubey, and I will be your host for this evening. We would like to thank, first of all, NCPA and the wonderful Tata Theatre for opening their doors again. It has been 2 years, and it has been a tough 2 years. This very room has seen innumerable people that have been honored by Sanctuary for demonstrating their love for life and for their unending service to our magical planet. It's been 4 decades that Sanctuary has been working with supporters, scientists, well-wishers, friends, to celebrate and defend our most precious wealth, the natural ecosystems of planet Earth. Starting as a wish and a dream, under the ramparts of Ranthambhore's famous fort in Rajasthan, the Sanctuary Nature Foundation has helped shape the conservation movement in India. And you all are here tonight to help celebrate that marathon journey. So without much ado, first I would like to call the man himself, who's already like family, perhaps because we're the same species, founder of the Sanctuary Nature Foundation, to carry us forward into that journey, Mr. Bittu Sahgal.
You darling, you're absolute wondrous. Babies grow up, look at them. Thank you. So, here we are, really. 2 years. 2 traumatic years have gone by. And I have a sense that we have the power in this room to make things not better, but much better, much, much better. Ira Dubey, award-winning film and theater actor, producer and influencer extraordinaire. Thank you. I am gratified to see young people like you, whose world I am sworn to protect, take charge. All too few people of my generation, the Buddha Party, realize that every last human endeavor is subject to the rules of nature, what scientists call the biosphere. This includes the economy, a wholly owned subsidiary of that little blue marble that's our only home. And what of us, Homo sapiens, the wise ones? For all our incredible evolutionary journeys, we are still just bumped up monkeys, as dependent upon nature as any other life form on planet Earth. It's a truth seed, and from such truth seeds was born the Sanctuary Nature Foundation 4 decades ago, around a warm campfire on a cold Ranthambore night, and it was under this very banyan tree that the late Fateh Singh Rathore virtually coerced me, shamed me, into launching Sanctuary Asia. Our mission today, it's precisely what it was 40 plus years ago. There's no change at all, to scatter truth seeds so that they may grow into protective shields to keep you, our children, safe and happy when we are gone. But I ask the adults in this room, how are we to keep our children safe? Every single day we pump carbon and greenhouse gas emissions that trap the heat equivalent of 500,000 Hiroshima-sized atomic explosions into Earth's atmosphere. That's how much heat we're putting up. Consequently, half the sea ice in the summer Arctic has melted, much of the Antarctic ice too. And like little children playing with lethal weapons of mass destruction, we have already adversely affected Earth's cold jet stream, and now even the warm Gulf Stream. You ask scientists who understand this what the impact is of altered saltwater ocean currents, and sweat beads will appear on their head because they know how dangerous that is for the planet, and yet, all is not lost. It is not lost. Our planet is blessed with self-correcting mechanisms that have everything to do with homeostasis. I didn't know that word till some time ago, and it's a word you must look up on Google. I'll repeat it, homeostasis, because it truly does give us a chance to save ourselves from ourselves. But enough about the worrisome state of our world. At this point, I would like to publicly acknowledge many who share our dream, have shared it for a long time. Hemendra Kothari, Chairman DSP Group, and his 2 daughters, almost from the scruff of my neck, Hemendra caught me and said, look, don't waste your time doing things like collecting money and things like this. We'll look after that. Just do what you're doing, you know. And Aditya, you were there with him that time when we had the first awards show. And Aditya Kothari Desai now is the Vice Chairman of DSP Investment Managers. She's there. Shuchi Kothari. I've seen these kids like this. Wonderful, wonderful kids. Trustee of the Wildlife Conservation Trust and a passionate wildlife photographer for decades. They have always supported Sanctuary's mission, which has become their own, probably was. Nadir Godrej, Chairman and Managing Director of Godrej Industries. And the entire Godrej family, who continue to support Sanctuary, which the green-hearted Sorabji Godrej began supporting from the day Sanctuary was born in 1981. Nadir, he was my conscience. Every time he thought I was doing something wrong, like putting a snarling tiger on the cover of Sanctuary, he says, why? Why? The tiger snarls once in XYZ. Why are you doing that? Aditya Agarwal, Managing Director, and his team at Morningstar, they currently support Sanctuary Nature Foundation's 45 Village Contact Program in Ranthambore, which is empowering children and elders with nature knowledge and technological skills that will help them make better their lives. Through, CSR has come into the world today, and through their support for sanctuaries, community upliftment fieldwork, the H.T. Parekh Foundation helps us to reach nature education to the children of Kolkata and the Songbirds Biosphere Reserve with the involvement of long-term partners, Suchandra and Joydeep Kundu of SHARE. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Deepak Parekh, Chairman of HDFC, for reposing your faith in us for your critical CSR projects. What do I tell you? I miss Romesh, I miss Paul, all these people, IndusInd Bank. It was all started so long ago. IndusInd Bank now currently helps to bring environmental education to thousands of school children in Delhi, Nagpur, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, and Panna. It's beyond my wildest dream that we would be supported like this. And Rupa Satish, head of both corporate investment banking, CSR, and sustainable banking. I can just say, thank you for your trust. We will never let you down. Never. I had a young friend who went a little too early, and in his memory, to honor him, the late Anant Bajaj, Paryavaran Mitra, the Bajaj Electrical Foundation has enabled Sanctuary to reach biodiversity and climate education to thousands of children right here in Mumbai in 50 schools. And thank you, Kiran, Pooja, Shekhar, for all your faith and trust in us. The truth is that Sanctuary started out as just a magazine. I made a promise to Fateh Singh, I will never come back unless I give you a magazine, because he said, that's all you're really good to do, you really won't be able to do much more. But it's become a veritable movement now with a network of over 1 million children and their parents across the country. It is magic. It's magic. We have a project that we call Mud on Boots. It empowers and supports diverse grassroots conservationists across India. And all we do is fuel its project leaders financially a little bit, raise their profiles, and connect them to organizations and experts who help them implement their biodiversity missions across vast Indian landscapes. In 2015, Sanctuary launched a project called Cocoon Conservancies. Cocoon Conservancies is community-owned, community-operated nature conservancies. Because when we started Ranthambore, the people who paid the heaviest price were the ones who ringed Ranthambore, because our wild boar were knocking their fields down, our tigers were killing their cattle. It was they who paid the largest price, and we wanted to change that. So the idea here is outside the protected area network, sanctuaries and national park, are failed and marginal farms which are attacked by grasshoppers, by beetles, by birds, by monkeys, by wild boar, by deer, by everything. And these guys live a pretty difficult life. So what we said was that if we can go there and we can subsidize them for a period of 3 to 5 years, then the forest comes and claims ecologically their land, but the land, we said, must remain in their hands. It must be owned by them so that they become the beneficiaries of biodiversity, and jo yamdut tha wo annadata ban jaye aapke liye. So that was our simple strategy, and it is working. It's going to take a long time because we're not financing it in the large, huge way. We're doing it through communities who agree that this is a better way than to continually fight. In October 2022, on an invitation from Sarmad Hafiz Saab, Secretary, Department of Tourism, and Dr. Diba Khalid Pir, Deputy Director, of the Tourism Department, we ran a test market, you can call it, a bird fest in Kashmir, one of the finest bird destinations in the world, Happy Valley, I'm telling you something, it's a happy valley, it's a safe valley, provided we want to make it safe, provided we agree that the people down there at the lowest level are the ones who must benefit. So birding, we have Bivash Pandav, the director of the BNHS here, he brought his team there, and what we are planning to do is to teach young Kashmiris the essence, the very essence of what makes ecosystems tick and how birds themselves are, you can say, the maintenance engineers of these forests. They take seeds from here and plant them there, etc., etc. I would say that Farooq Gilani sahab, aap yahan baithe hain, you helped us. I'm talking about my friends in Kashmir. I don't know what to say about them except in Kashmir, it was not just open arms with which we were welcomed. We were welcomed as members of their family into their homes. It's something I would tell people, go to Kashmir to understand what Kashmir is all about. It is still heaven on earth. So, it's been a long journey. I've already taken more time. I'm getting messages in here. It's been a long and fulfilling journey. But let me do one thing. We live in Bombay. Many of us go to sanctuaries and national parks, and sometimes we see tigers killing this and that and the other. Let me show you some slightly different jhalaks of the magical biosphere that will soon be the responsibility and the safety net our children will need to survive in the years to come. I've never seen one in the wild, and yet that's the largest traded mammal in the world today. Meat is boiled and cooked and eaten. The scales are ground into powder, and supposedly, for some medical reasons that I don't think they ever worked in any case, and even if they did, at what cost? The footage was taken by the Wildlife Conservation Trust. I mentioned that Shuchi and Aditya are trustees of that, and it's probably the first time anybody in India has done something like this, because they wanted to understand what the natural history of this animal is so you can protect it better. Anish, you and I have been friends forever and we will be friends forever, but this is one thing that you've done which is really, 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 really unique. Really unique. I've never ever thought I'd see something like this. So after this, Parvesh, should we share something closer home? As soon as this is over, they're tracking this animal. It's unbelievable, satellite tracking, and I don't know how they do this, Anish, but bless you for everything that you and WCT do. चल परवेश कुछ यहाँ अपनी SGNP की कुछ दिखाए ना मुंबई सिटी मैक्सिमम सिटी I tell you something, we should be able to teach the world how people can live with animals. There's an attitude we have that we should be exporting. We should not be importing false ambition from those people who don't know how to look after the planet. The footage was shot by Steve Winter and Bertie Gregory for National Geographic, by the way, in our own SGNP. And, अरे, Anish, tiger का कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना? Amateur footage, shot by, I don't know how old or what, Rajesh, son of Spider-Man, he shot this. Just look. Bas, khel khatam. I don't know how many 1 in 8, 1 in 10 tries is successful, but the trials of life are so extreme. These animals have been able to survive the trials of life for many, many, many million years. But I can tell you this, that they don't need us to add to those trials of life because they don't know how to meet the challenges we pose for them. Switching tracks for a bit. Those were just jhalaks, as I said. Each year, Sanctuary goes out in search of the best conservation photographers we can find. And starting last year, in memory of one of India's finest wildlife photographers, the late Kunj Trivedi, his family, Prashant and Shweta Trivedi, requested Sanctuary to locate the best images we could and reward those documenting Asia's biodiversity. Kunj bhai, you will be remembered for your dedication and the love of the wilds. And thank you. Thank you. Wherever you are, thank you. That camera is a weapon that will defend this country. So let me share a fraction of the thousands of entries we received for the Sanctuary Wildlife Photography Awards. The Sanctuary team and our judges had a rough time. We fought with each other. We did all kinds of things. We went over and then over the submissions for weeks. Parvesh, Saurabh, Devika, you're sitting up there in the control room. Shall we start with the honorable mentions? Yes. Good. Chal shuru ho jao. Come on. There we go. So, Anirban Dutta. The multicolored web. And no, that's not a sari pallu or it's fantastic. It's sheer and diaphanous. The many layers of a web stretch across the frame, studded with tiny red spider mics. Dutta took multiple in-camera images, exposures for this brilliantly lit and vibrant image by illuminating the scene using two external flashes from the opposite sides. Red cellophane was used to mask the flashes. Amazing what people can do. Amazing. I just tip my hat to photographers. Chandrasekhar Das. We call this Mount Debris, This is on the outskirts of Kothari in Tamil Nadu. A sloth bear ambled from its forest toward the town's dump yard. The photographer captured the bear as it climbed the mountain of trash in search of leftovers. It was dwarfed by the sheer magnitude of what I would not call Homo sapiens, but Homo stupidus, Our consumerist addiction is one thing, but most of this trash is plastic, which has become a scourge across the globe and puts not just wildlife but ourselves at imaginable risk. Mothers are feeding their children in breast milk with microplastic beads. What are we doing? If we can't find a solution to this, what's the point of going off to the moon and going to Mars and going everywhere else when we can't even look at our own planet? Chaitanya Krishnan, clear and present danger. The photographer was left awestruck by this fast-paced chase near a waterhole in the Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve. In this case, the story was not happy for the monkey. It was a young tiger cub learning. Monkey to kha gaya wo. So it's just moments like these. Kenneth Lawrence, eyeing death. This is the smallest wild cat in the world. Am I right, Bivash? The rusty spotted cat. Now, the photographer, this was in Seshan, just off the Gir National Park, and the cat was trying to cross. I've never seen one in the wild. I've never seen one. But trying to cross the road, paid the price, and the photographer said he was saddened that his first encounter with this beautiful cat was not in the wild, but after its death. India is yet to understand the value of roadless wildernesses. Those are our parachutes. They are the ones that will allow economies and everything else to survive forever and ever, amen, provided we allow it to. Riaz Kader. इसको देख के तो मेरा दिल टूट जाता है कि भाई it's trying to cross a live electric fence. You take an animal like the elephant, which has lived here for so many years, and you make it do this little ballet dancing like this over this because it's got to eat food. Now, the truth is that farmer, it's not the farmer's fault. He's trying to feed his kids. But what we have to understand is that our policies have to be so designed that species and ecosystems have to learn, have to survive, just like your liver. I'll have a single malt once in a while, but I have too many of them, my liver is going to go bust. And what's happening now is actually multiple organ failure. That's what we're seeing around the planet today. Wetlands, grasslands, swamps, rivers, we're emptying, we're changing things. We can't afford to do that. But let me go on. Let's see the certificates of merit, guys. Kiran Menezes, dwelling in permanence. Just look at that. Just look at that. This creature is actually a bagworm moth larva that has built an intricate dwelling in which to pupate using twigs, dry leaves, and other plant and animal debris. Don't miss the jade-like plastic bits stacked in this Jenga-like pile. Plastic has become an unwelcome part of the life cycle of virtually every living being on this planet. But look what nature made. Look at the way it managed to avoid being eaten, And what you see here, Angad Achapa, Woody Wonders, looks just like a part of the tree, part of that wood. It's an amorous pair of longhorn beetles mimicking the part of the tree looking indistinguishable from a bit of dry wood, and it would have gone unnoticed if the photographer had not been accompanied by his entomologist guide, that's an insect guy. On closer inspection, the photographer discovered the tiny beady black eyes, long antenna, and a pair of legs clinging steadfastly to a real wooden twig. So it's just magic, The magic of reality is what we should wake up to every day and say, oh my God, oh my word, Okay, Lalit, Dr. Lalit Ekanaike. He's sent us pictures. He's won awards in this competition over the last 20 years, but this is outrunning a rampage. This is the Yala National Park in Sri Lanka. A safari vehicle came too close for comfort to an elephant, and a ranger from the back, trying to protect these guys who went too close, went and just tried to distract the elephant and almost got thumped himself, But he diverted the pachyderm's attention, and he barely got into the safety of his vehicle. And when we go into forests, we must understand that the purpose of these guys is not to protect us, it's to protect the animals. So the better we behave, the better we will enjoy, and the safer become the people who are protecting. Prathamesh Garekar, Magic in Micro. What looks like suspended particles of space dust are actually spores released by fungus that clothes the log. The photographer was watching snails feasting on the fungus in Shahpur in Thane, right there. And he was fascinated by the vibrant colors that appeared when he shone a flashlight on the scene. So he used an intense flash to highlight the light frequencies. We can't see these things. Who knows what the animals get to actually see? We don't know, but whatever it is, it's magic of reality. It's fantastic. Vijay Parmar, whirling whirligigs. On the banks of Gujarat's Purna River, the photographer stumbled across a mass of silvery grey whirligig water beetles swimming furiously in circles on the water's surface. He captured this exquisitely composed monochrome image using a top angle and a slow shutter speed to freeze the swim trails and ripples. And yes, by the way, our very generous judges said, all right, Bittu, since you always seem to want something else, we'll give you one editor's choice. So this was my editor's choice, Mayuresh Kishore Hendre's Table for Two. We see two sleek small Indian civets frozen by a camera trap image in the Jammun village just outside the Corbett National Park. He was hoping to get a tiger returning to its somber kill, and instead won recognition for this image instead. Amazing. Nothing goes waste. Incidentally, there is no species on earth that has the technology to waste. They do not know how to waste. Even when an elephant shits, it's buffet for everybody else. Birds will come, insects will come, butterflies will come, all kinds of things. Nothing goes waste. They don't know how to waste. Anyway, it's time now to look at the top 3 winning images. The third prize for the Sanctuary Wildlife Photography Awards 2022 goes to Anand Bora. We title it A Messy Conflict, and this image is from Nashik. It captures a dramatic and very, very dangerous moment when a desperate leopard only wanted to get away from a crowd of humans. A local political leader jumped into the fray trying to protect the people. It was a misguided attempt to catch the cat. Mercifully, he escaped with his life. He got wounded, hurt. The leopard escaped with his life. And the forest department, as usual, cleaning up the mess that we make, they went out, they tranquilized the leopard and released it safely back into the wild. May I please request Anand Bora, are you here in the hall? Please, Anand, come up and accept your award. Thank you. Thank you. Come, Anand, right here. There you go. बहुत बढ़िया मेरे भाई, fantastic. There you are. Thank you. जीते रहो बेटा. Abhijit Somvanshi, Battle of Wills. Two carnivores face off in the dry, grassy habitat of the Pench Tiger Reserve in high summer. You see two Indian jackals and a changeable hawk eagle. When the hawk eagle made its kill, the jackals came over there trying to catch a little bit from there. The eagle fought back for a while, but then the jackals managed to start eating, and interestingly, the tussle ended the way I wish the Ukrainian tussle would end, because the jackals ate on one side and these guys ate on the other side, and both went away after that without hurting each other. Anyway, let's give him a round of applause because he couldn't be here today. He had to be with his family. And friends, the Sanctuary Wildlife Photographer of the Year is Anirban Dutta for this work of pure art titled In a Fell Swoop. What you're seeing on the screen here is a swarm of termites surrounding a street lamp with an agile black drongo. It's difficult to see black drongo night, swooping down to grab morsels from the insect cloud. This dreamlike image masks the chaos of its setting. You won't believe that this is a busy petrol pump in Cooch Behar, where he got this picture. The photographer used in-camera multiple exposures to merge three images but within the camera and planned the exquisite end result before capturing it in his camera. Kakubhai Kothari, Photokina, you are a legend in the world of wildlife photography and a very dear friend of Kunj Bhai's. Would you please join us on stage to present the award? And ladies and gentlemen, meet Sanctuary's Photographer of the Year 2022, Anirban Dutta, for his brilliant image in Fell Swoop. Anirban. There you are, Kakubai. Right in the center. Anirban, you're here. So it goes. Anirban, well done. Thank you. So we've seen the works of some of the most dedicated and talented photographers up on the screens, but now permit me to switch the game a little bit. I want to spotlight a few individuals in this room who demonstrate how each one of us can make a difference irrespective of our occupations, proving that when a lot of us do even a little, a lot gets done. So may I start with someone who's my personal hero for many, 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 many decades, Padma Shri Dr. Vijay Mehta. All of us should bow before you. Don't stand. We can see you. You don't stand, but we should bow before you. Theatre and film director, actor, Earth Mother, you virtually gave birth to the theatre in post-independence India. Your revolutionary work was performed and appreciated all over the world. You also helped define the NCPA, where we are gathered today to honor our quiet Earth defenders for the Sanctuary Wildlife Awards, a format you conceived almost 2 decades ago, when you held our hands and set a bar for us that we will attempt to live up to for the rest of our lives. Dr. Vijay Mehta, bye to those who know and love you. What a phenomenal difference you've made to theatre and to all of us. Thank you. Ranjit Jadhav, please stand. Wherever you are, there you go. Environmental journalist, passionate wildlife defender, citizen science champion, you've spent over a decade documenting and protecting and writing about the leopards of the R.A. Milk Colony and Sanjay Gandhi National Park. You have also lived with those living right next to Mumbai City Forest, the one that you saw, which Steve Winter had been so kind enough to share with us. It's Mumbai City Forest. To understand, you want to understand and reduce human-leopard conflicts. You're passionate beyond belief. You've traveled afar to rural Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, even Uttarakhand, holding workshops for communities and forest officials to win public support for conservation. and Midday, the paper we love to read, is fortunate to have you engage the young and expanding readership. Ranjit Jadhav, you are a journalist and what a difference you are making. Thank you. Protectors of Sanjay Gandhi National Park, we shall forever be in your debt. You are climate warriors, you are water conservationists, you are forest protectors. G. Mallikarjuna, Director of the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, and 4 fantastic forest guards. Fantastic forest guards. Ashwini Thube, Sonali Shinde, Roshan Shinde, and Yash Misal. At one time, every drop of water we drank came from the Sanjay Gandhi National Park and its surrounds. And it's possibly the most unique one of its kind. It's a amazing thing in which 20 to 30 free-ranging leopards roam. You saw some of them, and which is visited by more people probably than any other national park in India. Thank you for keeping Sanjay Gandhi safe against all odds. Future generations will remember you. They will remember you as patriots for protecting a wilderness surrounded by Albania, which will keep our children safe in this era of galloping climate change. You are making a fantastic difference. Thank you. You don't have to be a wildlifer to save wildlife or to save nature. Praveen Gupta, please stand. Former CEO, insurance risk expert, climate impact observer, and writer in N number of technical as well as business journals around the world. After a pioneering lifetime spent at the very top of the insurance sector, you made it your life's mission to wake economists, actuaries, and investors who have grossly underestimated the risks posed by climate change. Incidents that we used to say take place once in 100 years are now taking place once in 10 or 12 years. How is an actuary going to assess that risk, and what kind of premium will he charge? Your lucid and credible communications are read by thousands. And this changes the very fundamentals of risk estimation caused by cyclones, floods, droughts, crop failures, landslides, even future pandemics of the kind we've just suffered. Human rights and ecological justice sectors have begun to carry your message to those most affected. The victims are young and old, and investors who now hesitate to throw their money into stranded assets caused by infrastructure projects that do not understand the risks they pose by climate change. Praveen Gupta, you're making a difference in a sector that we could not reach. Thank you. Shahid Salim Babne, khade ho jao yaar. Boat master, expert, bird guide, mangrove specialist. You know, in Mumbai you can see 70,000 flamingos just 1 hour away, and he's the man who shows them to you. This is Airoli's Thane Flamingo Sanctuary. अगर आप नहीं गए हो ना वहाँ तब line queue में खड़ा पड़ा, you'll have to stand in a queue, but please. He's served a decade in the service of the Maharashtra Forest Department and it says it leaves him more determined than ever to win the support of Mumbaikars to protect the millions of birds, including flamingos, that make Mumbai one of the finest birding destinations. He says, अरे पैसे वैसे नहीं होंगे, लेकिन मैं बहुत अमीर आदमी हूँ. And he says, जब मैं बच्चों के चेहरे पे खुशी देखता हूँ कि भाई ये भी है यहाँ हमारा, तो मेरी जिंदगी का मकसद पूरा हो जाता है एकदम. So these birds, we spoke about Sanjay Gandhi National Park. We're talking about the mangroves. The garland of mangroves is actually a protective shield. And this man, this young boy, Alhamdulillah, you said, I have the best job in the whole world. Jeete raho. I have two very lovely people here in the hall. I hope they're here. I never met them before. Shaktiraj Jadeja and Pankaj Singh, please stand so we can see you. There you go. Hi, for the first time we're seeing each other. Storytellers, filmmakers, earth changers. Shaktiraj, put your hand up so they know which is which. There you go. You shoot and edit films that tell powerful, sensitive stories in the space of arts, culture, and nature conservation. Your newborn son just about leaves you enough time to squeeze in a film project or two, and despite all the coercion from home, I won, you're here. Thank you. All he does is he wants to do things with his film projects to leave a better, more secure world for tomorrow. And Pankaj, you write short stories. The Face in the Crowd. What a film you made. And all of us are faces in the crowd, really. You collaborate on illustrated stories revolving around science and nature when you're not crafting documentary films. You lead a lifestyle that allows you to own as little as possible. Quite opposite to what the rest of the world is doing. Both of you storytellers have turned your passion into effective conservation communication actions. Pankaj and Shaktiraj, you are making one hell of a difference. Team Vasai Birds, bird protectors, beach cleaners, techies, led by you, Amol Lopez, Varun Satos, and Ramesh Shanai. Look at them. Look at them. They are the protectors of avians in the city of Mumbai. They network amateur and expert birders in whose hands tomorrow's conservation actions will flourish. They conduct bird walks, and you have created Vasai Birds. But I find it difficult. My daughter has to explain to me, iska karo, control karo, isko karo, usko karo. But anyway, these guys have produced an app which is free on Google Play. It's called Vasai Birds, where common English, scientific names, size, habitat, diet preferences, identification marks, IUCN, red list data, status, 300 common rare birds of Mumbai are listed there. You're fantastic, you guys. I just can't believe what you do. And I think that people should actually come to that app and turn it into one of the best. They won't do that, but it'll be pretty good. You also undertake cleanups so that the plastic litter thoughtlessly dropped by unthinking citizens doesn't harm the birds that are the purpose of your life. You are Mumbai's quiet heroes. Vasai Bird team, you're making a difference today and tomorrow. I have to admit to being personally overwhelmed. Just look at the number of people in this magnificent auditorium. Each one of us can make a difference, irrespective of who we are, north, south, east, west. It doesn't matter what we do. If we want to, whatever our professions, whatever our backgrounds, if we want to, we merely need to believe we can, and we want to make a difference, we will make a difference. We will. Anyway, Ira, it's that time of evening. I've said my bit. It's your show now. I've taken, Argya, forgive me, more time than I should have. And I don't want to fall here, so...
Bittu, Sahgal, ladies and gentlemen.
Where do I go? Here I am.
Very wrong. Hi.
I almost wish I was sitting with you all in the audience. What a powerful, what an insightful, what a spontaneous, what a fabulous journey you just took us on, Bittu. The way only you could. All the heroes sitting in the audience today. Thank you to all those marvelous photographers who took those magical, unexpected images, the symbiosis of man and nature which so desperately needs repair. Images are powerful things, right? And I tip my hat to my fellow comrades from my business out there who are doing what they can. Music and song. Maybe things are getting a little bit heavy, just a little bit. Music and song truly are the food of love, right? Heaven knows we need more love in the world today. Music and song actually helped unleash the power of young America when they wanted to end the Vietnam War. Maybe we could do the same to end the undeclared war we have unleashed on our planet. Who knows? Maybe it takes evenings like this, all of us coming together. Tonight, we have some powerhouse women with us whose purpose in life is to spread joy through their voices and throughout the world. Quite the way that songbirds do in the forests that we love. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Sassy Songbirds.
Check. You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But hey, if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you learn things you never knew, you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or asked the grinning bobcat why he grins? Learn to sing with all the voices of the mountains. You need to paint with all the colors of the sea. Paint with all the colors of the wind.
ओ जंगल की दुनिया तुम भी देखो, आओ इस धरती को तुम पहचानो, आओ कुदरत के पहलू को यूं छू लो, और एक बार अपने दिल से फिर पूछो।
ये झरने, ये नदियां हैं मेरे अपने, कुदरत के सभी प्राणी मेरे दोस्त, और हम सारे जुड़े हैं एक दूजे से, जिंदगी सांसों से जुड़े जैसे। Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or let the eagle tell you where he's been? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountains? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? How high does a sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or whether we are white or copper skinned, we need to sing with all the voices of the mountains. We need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind. And now that we've celebrated nature, let's celebrate the indomitable spirit of our warriors, our awardees tonight. Let's make them unstoppable. Come on. Oh man, I know how it takes to fold this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down and all through the night time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. But my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I put my armor on, I'll show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible, yeah. And I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable. I'm unstoppable today. Break down, only alone I would cry on out. You'll never see what's hiding out deep down. Oh yeah. I put my armor on, I'll show you how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. And I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. I'm unstoppable today. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. I'm so confident. I'm unstoppable today.
From the delicate swan to the, from the cheetah to the cheetahs. Music and song really are a universal language. Add 4 strong women and you just saw magic happen, right? That was incredible. Ella Castellino, Atay, Mimosa Almeida Pinto, Karen D'Souza, and Marie Paul, the Sassy Songbirds, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful people. Before we get to the meat of the evening, the awards themselves, of course, all supporters of wild nature. Wouldn't it be wonderful? What we just saw was magic. And there's wildness in the air tonight, definitely. Because after all, aren't we all animals? All of you wild people, you back there, dig into those cloth bags that you have on your seats that Sanctuary has given you to remind us to avoid using plastic bags. What would happen if we woke up every morning and smelt not the coffee, but Mother Earth? Imagine. Inside, you will find a pledge card and a pen that you can use to add strength to the Sanctuary mission. Please fill in the card, hand it over to a Sanctuary volunteer when you exit the auditorium. Irrespective of the amount, be sure that your contribution will help Sanctuary, one of India's most credible wildlife networks to empower and fuel the purpose of our Earth defenders, fighting to protect our biodiversity and mitigate the impact of the climate crisis upon us. Thank you. I can hear a lot of shuffling. That's heartening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, in a changing world that we live in, it is inevitable that our heroes, too, will change. The climate problem, so awful to make it sound that, or the fact that it is that. The climate problem has evolved into a full-blown crisis that is tragically unfolding, whether we like it or not, largely because nations that met at COP27 in Egypt let us and our children down. But, a vibrant new wave of humanity is rising to meet the challenge of protecting and preserving our real common wealth. Pure water, productive soil, clean air, and species diversity. Sanctuary has been bringing such brave hearts to public attention for decades, but they are still far from being adequately acknowledged as the true builders and defenders of the nations they belong to, including India. We must change that because no species has ever or will ever win a war against nature. We want our children to look up to the people you will meet tonight who work almost invisibly for our todays and our children's tomorrows. Sit back and absorb what they live and die for, and collectively honor them with the gratitude we possess. The very first Sanctuary Award goes out to an inspiring Kerala-based environmental educationist, ecologist, and conservationist whose dedication has inspired a generation and has gifted India with one of its finest botanical sanctuaries.
Do trees speak? Do flowers dream? What do the birds sing about? Walk alongside Suprabha Seshan in the rainforest and you will learn that most questions about nature can be answered just by walking quietly, paying attention and listening. That is all she has done since she was a child and a wanderer of wild spaces. A long-term custodian of the Gurukula Botanical Sanctuary in Kerala, Suprabha and her team have painstakingly brought back to Gurukula lands a habitat that supports a myriad of plant life, enriching the microclimate and the water table. Almost like magic, many lost native animals, birds and insects returned, some of them considered locally extinct. An educator and restoration ecologist, down the decades, Suprabha has designed multiple programs that moved her students to protect, preserve, and nurture the last of the region's biodiversity. Most importantly, Suprabha's restoration and land management activities have effectively convinced local communities how crucial their role is in preserving their own landscapes and how they stand to benefit directly from the rebirth of wild nature. Unanswered though the questions may be on the dreaming flowers and conversing trees, Suprabha's resolute work confirms that as long as our wild spaces are protected, we will have the time to know. For her invaluable contributions, we honor her with the Sanctuary Green Teacher Award 2022.
Teacher par excellence, a woman who walks the talk. Congratulations, Suprabha. To present the award, may I request former Director General of Punjab Police and the Central Reserve Police Force, Special Secretary of the Government of India in the Home Ministry, Mr. Julio Ribeiro, to join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sanctuary Green Teacher Award 2022 goes to the inimitable Suprabha Seshan. Suprabha, we want to hear from you. Don't run away. Congratulations, Suprabha Seshan. Could we get a mic for Suprabha, please? Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ribeiro.
Thank you, Sanctuary Asia Foundation.
Take it away.
Okay. I received this in the spirit of community, and community means more than anything else to me. And I know that Bittu and all the others at Sanctuary Asia
also believe in the spirit and create community. My parents brought me into community. I had no choice. And my friends and extended family, and much more importantly, currently my co-workers and colleagues in this little place in Wayanad, Kerala, I really want to thank them. I wouldn't... And I want to thank the mosses, and I want to thank the ferns, and I want to thank the orchids, and I want to thank the tree ferns, and the creepers, and the climbers, and these are part of our wild heritage. And around those amazing animals that you have seen in the backdrop is something that processes 30% of the rainforest biome, the mosses alone. And I'd like to give this award to the mosses of India.
Many moons ago, a young man from Chennai mobilized student power to save thousands of olive ridley turtles that had been coming ashore to lay their eggs in nests that they had dug up on the pristine beaches of Chennai. He turned what was initially a visceral passion for wild nature into a veritable movement.
Set of waves may take a whole night.
Can a few long walks in the forests of Mumbai set you off on an incredible path? Arun will tell you they can. A 23-year-old engineer in the maximum city who paused to ask, what am I going to do with my life's energy? How will it be spent? The notion of being an engineer began to dissolve. Nature was his true calling. He set off toward unfamiliar shores. This was the time of the electronic boom, the pre-internet era, the time climate change had begun to announce its presence like an unwelcome guest. The 11th hour that asked for immediate action. Together with a determined set of individuals at the Students' Sea Turtle Conservation Network in Chennai, Arun oversaw countless safe releases of olive ridley turtle hatchlings since 1997. An educator, an afforester, a guide. Through community-led projects such as the Forest Way and the Marudam Farm School, Thiruvannamalai, the collective has participated in reforestation drives, Skillshare workshops, and inspirational, uncounted environmental journeys. For decades, walking lightly on the earth, these young people lead lifestyles that will be the norm tomorrow. To Arun, each day is a pursuit in shifting perspectives, a fervent wish for us all to remember that this planet we call home is home to every shade of life beside our own. And we, among all species, have the greatest responsibility. For this, we honor him with the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2022. The
marvelous V. Arun, please join us on stage. To present the award, may I request Deputy Director, Department of Tourism, Jammu and Kashmir, Dr. Diba Khalid Peer, to join us on stage. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2022 goes to V. Arun. No running away, the mic's behind you.
Well, what do I say? My journey began in Bombay. It didn't come in the film. Actually, Silonda Trail, as I mentioned to Bittu, that changed my life. And friends who walked with me at that time are still here, like in the audience today. So quit engineering and all this happened. I think it's open to all to do these things. And I didn't do it alone. I'm like Supi said, with the community, right? So hundreds of people have done the turtle walk. I mean, I'm just a part of a large team of foresters and people who run the school. And on behalf of all of them, I'm happy to receive this. Thank you all for giving this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Diba. A young Assamese adventurer and naturalist understood how the world has changed over a decade ago. He successfully managed to mix and merge his biodiversity mission with the fight to rein in Earth's terrifying climate crisis by doing something really smart. By joining the Climate Reality Mission, launched by none other than Vice President Al Gore, who won an Oscar for his documentary, An Inconvenient Truth.
This is what climate change looks like here in the Arctic. It's warming twice as fast as the rest of the planet.
Ice turning to water. Who could have guessed that this simple transformation from solid to liquid would constitute the greatest challenge to mankind? Having roamed the hostile icescapes of the Arctic, the Antarctic and the Himalayas, Rituraj Phukan has witnessed firsthand the catastrophic effects of global warming. And this is why he must not rest. This is why he must carry the message of urgent action far and wide. Founder of Assam's Indigenous Peoples Climate Justice Forum, Rituraj Phukan, just back from COP27, amplifies conservation and climate actions across the globe. Handpicked and trained by Nobel laureate and Vice President Al Gore, the world got to know Rituraj when his ideas found mention in Al Gore's latest book, An Inconvenient Sequel, Truth to Power. Honing in on the 3 W's, warming, wildlife and water, Rituraj, an environmental writer, adventurer and naturalist, works ceaselessly with indigenous communities, scientists, students and businesses to strengthen and link biodiversity with global climate action. While the ice continues to grow thin, Rituraj pushes on with hope and informed action to bolster his sails. We might be the only species that can be a danger to itself and the planet, but Rituraj will remind you that we are also the only species capable of turning back the tide, restoring our planet, and that is something to hold on to. For his tireless contributions, we honor him with the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2022.
This award, I would like to call upon a previous Sanctuary Wildlife Service winner himself, one of India's most experienced field biologists, the director of the Bombay Natural History Society, to join me on stage. Please welcome Bivash Pandav. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2022 goes to Rituraj Phukan. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much to Sanctuary Nature Foundation. Today we are also observing the Assam Day in memory of the first Ahom king and the founder of modern Assam, Saolong Sukapha. So that makes it extra special. He chose Assam for the abundance of nature, and today we are still fighting every day to protect what remains of it. So thank you very much. I am grateful to my colleagues in Climate Reality Project and Green Guard Nature Organization who has walked this path with me, and of course to my family, my wife and daughter, for not asking why and how. So thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Rituraj Phukan, ladies and gentlemen. The young and the unstoppable. Even Dr. Salim Ali believed 4 decades ago that the meticulous field work that went into documenting avians over the past 2 centuries made it unlikely that a new bird species would be found on the Indian subcontinent. Our next awardee surprised us all.
Since the beginning, it has been human nature to peer into the skies and wonder what lies beyond. What are the unseen things that await discovery? Ramana Athreya, an astrophysicist and biologist, turned to the cosmos for answers. But he did one more thing. He asked, what are those unseen things that are right here, at home, hidden in plain sight? It is no wonder that Ramana Athreya uncovered little-known secrets of the Bugun Leochicla, the first bird discovered since Indian independence. A prolific speaker, he delivers lectures across the globe on topics related to astronomy as well as ecology and biodiversity conservation. He has mentored the Bugun tribal community since 2003 and spearheaded research projects in the Eagle Nest Wildlife Sanctuary in Arunachal Pradesh. In 2012, a postage stamp recognizing his work was released in the series Endemic Species in Biodiversity Hotspots. A vital bridge between academia and fieldwork, Ramana Athreya is a guiding light for many. They say that astronomy is a humbling, consciousness-altering exercise. But Ramana Athreya's work across disciplines has gently reminded us that this tiny rock we call home is in itself a universe, alive with mystery, magic, and wonders. For his curiosity, his dedication, we honor him with the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2022.
To present the award to Ramana Athreya, may I please request CFO IndusInd Bank, Mr. Gobind Jain, to join me on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2022 goes to Ramana Athreya. Astronomer, academic, and on the field, a lifetime of service. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. One of the things I've learned in the last 20 years working is that for every person who gets an award, there's an army behind. And it's been a long journey, actually. More than anything else, it's a journey of discovery and self-discovery. And I would like to thank all the people I've worked with, including the Bugun community. And there are other people who bring nature to living rooms where people are who haven't seen nature. And I would like to thank all of them as well. Because without the work of so many people, the task we have taken upon ourselves wouldn't work. And more than this, receiving this award, I must say that it's been wonderful meeting all the other people who don't often get recognized and who are doing sterling work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Jain. How's everybody feeling? Overwhelmed? Yeah, that makes two of us. Jammu and Kashmir, we'll have some drinks soon. Jammu and Kashmir's Dashigam National Park has been a cradle for some of the finest homegrown naturalists who have often worked all their lives to protect the only forest that supports their state animal, while simultaneously delivering fresh, sweet water to most of the residents of Srinagar city.
Far from the grand halls where people of importance gather to make great big decisions, some frightful and some uplifting. Distant from the noise and all the voices of protest, there lives a man who quietly roams the forest trails he has grown to love in the 14 years spent walking there. All he has sought to do is to protect and love this one place, the Dachigam, where he belongs. Shabir Husain has been a naturalist here for nearly 15 years. It was the birds that brought him to the forest, but it was the mystique of the elusive Hangul that kept him there. More legend than reality, sighting one for the very first time gave Shabir every reason to safeguard the only home of this mythical creature, now critically endangered. A resident of Srinagar, all his time is divided between spending time with his family and service at the Dachigam National Park. Visitors who have walked with him there call him the Encyclopedia of Dachigam. 40-year-old Shabir Husain has seen the wonders of the Dachigam National Park like few have. His deepest wish is for the local communities to see the beauty their land holds and join him in conserving it for generations to come. Elusive as the creatures are in Dachigam, one may yet find their presence in traces. Walking beside their tracks in the sand, leaving his own prints behind, Shabir Husain belongs to the forest as much as the hangul or the Himalayan black bear or any creature that calls this jungle its home. For his kindness and dedication, we honor him with the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2022.
To present this award, I would like to call upon Chairman and Managing Director of Bajaj Electricals Foundation, Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, to join us on stage. Welcome, sir. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2022 to the champion of Dachigam National Park, the one and only Shabir Husain Bhatt. Thank you, Mr. Bajaj.
मेरी तरफ से सबको प्यार भरा आदाब और मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ मिस्टर बिट्टू सर का और प्रवीश पांडे सर का जिन्होंने मुझे इस अवार्ड के लिए चूज़ किया और प्लस मेरे जो फैमिली है पेरेंट्स हैं और स्पेशली जो और मेरी वाइफ है उनका मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ जब भी उनको मेरी ज़रूरत थी लेकिन मैं उनके लिए अवेलेबल नहीं था काम की वजह से लेकिन उन्होंने हमेशा मेरा सपोर्ट किया है तो थैंक्स फॉर देम ऑल्सो थैंक यू
I'm sure they're very proud of you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Each year, a host of avians descend on the wetlands of India to escape the freezing winters of northern climes. One woman took it upon herself to ensure that the avians had a safe home, with a battery of welcoming people willing to protect the wetland wonderlands, so critical to Earth's bird migratory sagas.
A finger pointing skyward, urging you to look, to observe, to witness the wonders in the skies. This has been Panchami's only purpose since the day she decided to turn the gaze of the common folk in Odisha towards the curious lives of birds. Birdwatcher, educationist, writer, Panchami Manu Okil has been a founding force for the thrumming birdwatcher community of Bhubaneswar. Through her initiative, Bhubaneswar Birdwalks, which she started 10 years ago, Panchami has been shepherding a culture of birdwatching among common folk. Today, this community contributes a mountain of significant data to eBird, with over 100 bird watches constantly documenting avi fauna in Odisha. Her efforts in the Mangala Jodi wetlands, Chilika, have seen the locals partake in significant measures to protect the fragile avian wintering grounds in the region. Because of Panchami's efforts, the wetland and its birds remain protected, while its people remain enriched. Currently penning a book on the birds of Odisha, Pakhi Panchami, as she is fondly known, could easily pass off as somebody who is just out looking for birds in her spare time. But strike a conversation with her, walk with her, and listen to her story, and you will see that she is the reason why an entire statewide community comes out to the parks and the lakes and wetlands these days, waiting patiently for the winged things to take to the sky. For this, we honor her with the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2022.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, I would like to take a moment to honor and thank all our wonderful presenters who've taken time out of their busy schedules to be with us here tonight. To present this award, may I please request the very personable Chairman and Managing Director, Godrej Industries Limited, Mr. Nadir Godrej, to join us on stage. A Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2022 goes to the intrepid bird protector, Panchami Manu Okil. Thank you so much, Mr. Godrej. Panchami, go. We'll love to hear from you. Go ahead.
Namaskar and a very good evening. Thank you, Sanctuary Nature Foundation and Bittu sir for believing in me. I'm deeply humbled. I do very little, but this award reiterates the fact that every little bit counts if we have to have a safer future for our children. Thank you, Madhu ma'am. Thank you, Bikram Grewal sir. This award goes to the birds and the people of Mangla Jodi and to my parents who have been my first green teachers. Saluting every award winner this evening and also those who are working conscientiously for saving the earth. May the earth heal. Thank you.
Thank you, Panchami. We salute you. By osmosis, that's what my mom likes to say about me and theatre, no talent whatsoever, she absorbed the love of wild forests from her famous and much adored father. She now works shoulder to shoulder with him to help rewild the rich biodiversity of Assam. She demonstrates for her elders that the young can and will repair our biosphere by working with wild nature.
Walking in the forest with a pocket full of seeds, who could she be? A river to cross, a land to love, and a dream of 1,000,000 trees. She is Munmuni Payeng, daughter to Jadav Payeng, the man who planted the Molai forest for over 4 long decades, the forest man of India. The voice that inspired her, the father that gave her no big shoes to fill, but taught her the simple work of pressing seeds down in the ground and waiting patiently. Today, she is nearly a year into the planting drive of 1,000,000 native trees on the sandbars of the Molai Kathoni forest in Assam. A founding member of Heuj Dhoruni or Green Earth, she directs environmental and social initiatives for the indigenous communities. The tribes missing, Ahom and other Adivasis, her 2 younger brothers, cousins and best friend set out each day gathering seeds and branches for hours before planting them. The tides come in and wash away their saplings, still they return and carry on. This is how 10 lakh trees have come to stand in the Molai forest today. An educator, a speaker, a guide, all of 24 years, Munmuni's wish for herself is simply to be a good human, to work hard and help people. Should you cross paths with her, ask her what's in her pockets. Forests, she will tell you. For her magnanimous efforts, we honor her with the Sanctuary Young Naturalist Award 2022.
This award to this generational warrior, may I request Goodwill Ambassador, UNEP, and board member of the Sanctuary Nature Foundation, the lovely Dia Mirza, to join me on stage. Generational warrior, young woman, fiercest of them all, let me tell you, with forests in her pocket. Ladies and gentlemen, the Young Naturalist Awards for 2022 goes to Munmuni Payeng. Thank you, Diya.
थैंक यू सो मच सेंचुरी एशिया और बीटू सर मुझे ये अवार्ड देने के लिए और मैं इस अवार्ड को लेके बहुत प्रगति के काम आगे कर जाऊंगा और इस मंच पर आज मैं पिताजी और मम्मी का वजह से खड़ी हूँ और
Perfect Hindi, ladies and gentlemen.
पिताजी ने इतना मुझे आशीर्वाद के लिए इस मंच पर आज खड़ा हूँ और मेरा हर दिन मतलब एनी टाइम गाइडेंस ऋतुराज फुकन दादा थैंक यू सो मच थैंक यू अगेन सेंचुरी एशिया
Munmuni Payang, ladies and gentlemen. Friends of the wild, ladies and gentlemen, though I don't know if we're ladies and gentlemen anymore, it's time for us to present the Sanctuary Lifetime Service Award for the year 2022. Each year, for over 2 decades, we've gone out in search of an individual whose life has been devoted to the protection of wildlife species or their habitats on the Indian subcontinent. A true hero. Someone whose life's purpose and respect for nature can be held out as an inspiration for the youth of our country and for the youth everywhere. We looked across the length and breadth of the country and found our man.
Sometime in the 1970s, the celebrated, dearly loved ornithologist Dr. Salim Ali received a note in response to his recent book on the birds of India. The letter came from a little boy in Meerut. Dr. Salim Ali quickly sent back a heartening note urging the boy to keep his eyes peeled for the skies and to always be curious. Little did he know that this boy would take inspiration and grow up to become the man who rescued an avian species from the brink of extinction. His name is Dr. Vibhu Prakash. In the early 90s, Dr. Vibhu Prakash and his team gathered data on vulture population across national parks. If not for their constant monitoring, the sharp decline in numbers would have gone unnoticed until it was too late. Racing against the clock, Dr. Vibhu Prakash, along with colleagues, initiated the Vulture Recovery Program, which became the guiding force for the Indian government's response to the situation. He was involved in the setting up of the Vulture Conservation Breeding Program with centers in Pinjore, Buxa, West Bengal, Rani, Assam, and in Bhopal. Today, these centers manage more than 800 vultures. Additionally, 445 hatchlings have been successfully reared. Dr. Vibhu Prakash also played an instrumental role in the banning of veterinary use of diclofenac, the drug that caused the decline in vultures. With over 40 years of vulture conservation behind him, Dr. Vibhu Prakash continues his good work in the field. Today, he is a PhD for students in the Mumbai University. Perhaps one could say, in choosing to guide the young, he is only paying forward the kindness he received in a note more than 40 years ago. For his heroic contribution, we honor him with the Sanctuary Lifetime Service Award 2022.
A true hero, a true legend. To present this award, may I request Vice Chairperson, DSP Investment Managers, Aditya Kothari Desai, to join me on stage. Welcome. For the grit, determination, and courage he has displayed over a lifetime in the service of wild vultures with the Bombay Natural History Society and their partners, the RSPB, we honor Dr. Vibhu Prakash with Sanctuary's Lifetime Service Award 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Vibhu Prakash. Thank you, Ms. Kothari. Dr. Prakash, the podium is now yours.
Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to receive this award. I am really grateful to the Century Nature Foundation for giving the award for my work on vulture conservation. And you know, vultures are not charismatic species, and quite a few of people find them repulsive. And I really thank Century for awarding efforts on vulture conservation. And I really thank Bittu Sahgal for this. I dedicate this award to vultures and the team of vulture conservationists in Bombay Natural Society. I especially like to thank Dr. Sachin Ranade, Rohan Shingarpure, Soumya, and Nikita Prakash. And in fact, actually, they have been constantly supporting me in this vulture conservation breeding program. You cannot do any conservation program in this country without the help and support of Forest Department. And I have been very lucky in getting active support from Ministry of Environment and Forests, and Climate Change, Government of India, and the state forest departments. I would especially like to mention the Forest Department of Haryana, Assam, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh for all the support they have extended to the vulture program. I would especially like to mention a few individuals who have been instrumental in providing support to our vulture conservation program. I would especially like to mention Dr. R.D. Jakati, who was the Chief Wildlife Warden in early 2000, and he was a pillar of support for vulture conservation. And also Mr. Malakar, who was Chief Wildlife Warden of Assam, and he helped us in getting the founder stock for the conservation breeding program of vultures. And also Mrs. Shruti Sharma, who is also a wildlife, Indian Forest Service officer of Rajasthan, who helped us in, she provided the crucial support in finding us the cause of vulture mortality. And we were very fortunate to have support from the Royal Society of Protection of Birds, both financial as well as technical, and without their support, we would not have been able to achieve what we could do in vulture conservation and have probably saved them from possible extinction. I would really like to thank Dr. Debbie Payne, Professor Reese Green, Jemima Perry-Jones, and Chris Bowden of RSPB. During my 4 decades of journey of vulture conservation and raptor conservation, there have been many conservationists and wildlife biologists who have helped me and supported me in conservation. And I would like to mention a few. I would like to thank Dr. V.S. Vijayan, who guided me on vultures and raptor program. I would also like to thank Dr. Rahmani of Bombay Natural Society, Gautam Narayan of Ecosystems of India, Dr. B.C. Chaudhary, Dr. Andrew Cunningham of Zoological Society of London, William Clark of the US Fish and Wildlife Service, Mr. Rishad Noroji of Bombay Natural Society, and finally, I would like to thank Dr. Vibhas Pandav, who is now currently the Director of Bombay Natural Society. And last but not least, I am really grateful to my parents, my brothers and sisters for always supporting me in my efforts in vulture and raptor conservation. My wife, Nikita Prakash, and my 2 sons, Rishabh and Saurabh, they have always helped me in my efforts in conservation. And they have never complained when I was away from them, and whenever I was away for a longer period of time, I would have much more better stories on vultures and raptors, and they would really enjoy it. I really owe a lot to them. And thank you all for coming for this award function.
Dr. Vibhu Prakash, ladies and gentlemen. Brings us to the end of this very moving, very overwhelming, very special evening. And I am reminded of a poem that I love. And I would love to share it with you. I slip, I slide, I gloom, I glance among my skimming swallows. I make the netted sunbeam dance against my sandy shallows. I murmur under moon and stars in brambly wilderness. I linger by my shingly bars. I loiter round my cresses. And out again I curve and flow to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Thank you so much to Mr. Bittu Sahgal, to Anahita, Devika, Argya, the entire Sanctuary team for having me join the Sanctuary family. It's been a beautiful and unforgettable experience. May I please call the man himself, Mr. Bittu Sahgal, to join me on stage. And may I also ask all the awardees to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a wonderful audience. Join us for cocktails and snacks outside. And don't forget to fill in those pledge cards. Thank you very much. Good night. Come on, photos. Anyone who wants to take pictures, now's the time. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Please. Yeah, I think we have to be in the center. You have to be in the center. Come, squeeze in. Where are we looking? We should be in the middle. You should be in the middle. Come along. Come in the middle.
Here?
Yeah, come in the middle. We'll be in the middle. Come. Yes. Center stage.
I couldn't do this.